Good day everyone, I'm Larraine Tumibay from STEM 12 St. Patricia. I'm going to present to you my cell city analogy. I'm tasked to create a city and relate it to organelles of the animal and plant cells, and I called it Ncity. So why did I name my cell city analogy as Ncity? For your information, I like a K-pop group named Ncity. That's why I've created my city inspired by them. First, my city's foundation is the first topic I'll cover. I called it Neobase. This is where all my city's elements are placed. In cell, it is called cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a gel-like substance made from dissolved proteins and liquids. Like in my city, without the neobase, the elements won't have a platform to operate within the city. The cytoplasm also offers a foundation for other cellular organelles to work on. Next is the protector of my whole Ncity and all elements inside it. I called it Ncity Gate. It protects the entire city from enemies from other citizens from another fandom or anti-fans. It filters who can only enter my city. Just like in cells, a cell membrane is the one that protects and supports the cell while also acting as a filter. Cell membranes functions as a barriers and gatekeepers in the cell. Now, I'll discuss the little guy in the car, the Neos. This guy acts as a K-pop idol which the Ncity produces. It is the one bringing money to Ncity for it to upgrade the buildings and gates. In cells, we call it protein. In the body, proteins are enormous complicated molecules. They are vital for construction, function, control, and growth of the body's tissues and organs. Next is the center of my Ncity, the Neo Entertainment Company, which is the one who controls all activities in the Ncity. In cells, it is called the nucleus. The nucleus is the cell's brain responsible for storing DNA and directing functions such as metabolism, growth, protein synthesis, and reproduction. Next is the CEO, the little man inside the company. The CEO is the one instructing the activities inside the cell like upgrading gates and buildings. In cell, it is called chromosomes. Chromosomes carries the DNA which encodes genes for biological functioning. Next, the training building. This is where a normal citizens are being trained to become a K-pop idol or a Neo. This is where the Neos are being produced. In cells, it is called ribosomes. It is where the proteins are being produced from an amino acid in synthesis. The production of normal citizens to Neo is called training. In the cell, it's like synthesis. Next, the audition building. This is the place for a normal citizen to audition. They must first pass the audition before transferring them to the training building. It is where they gather normal citizens to train them to become a Neos. Just like in cell, nucleolus is like the audition building. The nucleolus' primary job is rRNA synthesis and processing, as well as ribosomes assembly. Next is the neogate. It is the one protecting the company and the CEO. In a cell, it is called the nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane is a double membrane that surrounds and protects the nucleus of a cell. Its purpose is to keep the chromosomes apart from the remainder of the cell. Next is the neo-highway. This is where the Neos are traveling to get to the other buildings in the city. In the cell, it is called Endoplasmic Reticulum. It is the one transforming materials needed by the cell and ensure that the rest of the cell can function by delivering proteins. Next is the neo-dressing building. This is where the neos are changing their clothes before going to their performances outside the Ncity. In the cell, it is like the Golgi bodies. It is a cell organelle that aids in the processing and packaging proteins for export outside the cell. Next is the music production building. This is where the songs of neos are being made. The songs produced by the music production building are an essential element in the Ncity. Without this building, the neos won't have a songs to perform outside the Ncity. They won't have activities inside the Ncity. Just like mitochondria, the site of cellular respiration and production of ATP. Without the ATP, there will be no cellular activities inside the cell. Next is underground. In K-pop, underground is an imaginary room where K-pop idols or trainees that has been missing for months are being thrown at, specifically those idols who have an issue or trainees that are not good enough to be an idol yet. In a cell, there is an organelle called lysosomes. Lysosomes play functions in cellular waste degradation, recycling, cellular signaling, and energy metabolism. Next is the dormitory, where the neo lives and other neos who are sick are being placed. Like vacuole, it stores essential materials, disposes of harmful waste, and isolates materials that might be harmful or a threat to the cell. Fun fact: K-pop group Ncity has a subgroup called NCTU. So I came up with an idea of making this subgroup as a plant cell city analogy. I called it NCTU. NCTU has the same element as the Ncity, but it has two elements that the Ncity does not have. It is the neo-U gate and the neo panel. Let us first talk about the neo-U gate. The neo-U gate is also like the neo gate, but it is outside. It works as filtration mechanism as well as providing structural support and protection to the cell. Next, the neo panels. Neo panels is the one converting lights from the sun to energy to provide for the whole NCTU. It is similar to chloroplast. Chloroplast is an organelle that uses the photosynthesis process to turn the light energy into chemical energy. Thank you for listening. That is my cell city analogy. Have a great day.